Hey guys, Ranger here, and welcome back to another video. And this is a reaction and review of the 22nd episode of MLP, which is Once Upon a Zeppelin. And all that I know is that Twilight, I think, goes on a little family outing or something with her family, and uh, with her mom and dad, and with Shining. And the only reason I know that was because whenever I was recording the episode onto DVD that morning that it premiered, um, I walked past the TV and I just happened to, like, out of the corner of my eye, I remember seeing Twilight Velvet, Twilight's mom and her dad, and I remember seeing something with Shining. That's all that I remember seeing. Otherwise, I was able to avoid it. Um, but let's go ahead and get on with it. Start the video. 3, 2. I got something on my screen. I got a fuzz on my screen. Starting the video in 3, 2, 1, click. That's cute. He's bored. Whoa!
Oh, thank goodness. I thought I had too many deep-fried gems.
It's from my parents. Spike, they want a Zeppelin cruise and get to take the whole family. Oh, I wish I had time to go with them, but there's just too many princess duties I have to take care of.
Come on, Twilight. Even Princess Celestia takes a break sometimes, and she raises the sun.
Yeah.
You need a vacation. I can keep track of the friendship log, boost community morale, and answer fan mail for a few days.
But Spike, you're as much a part of my family as any pony. I can't just leave you here to do all that work.
What? I can't hear you. You're on vacation.
I guess I could use a little time off from being a princess. You're the best, Spike.
I know.
I'm gonna go pack everything neatly into one suitcase.
Wait for it.
Cruises have activities, right? I should probably make a schedule.
There it is.
Okay, first off, I really love this, honestly, because it's very interesting that we're actually seeing, like, with this right here, we're back to Twilight with her princess duties. And her mom and dad want to have a family vacation. I'm sorry, but every time I hear the term family vacation, my first thought is, oh boy, who will die? Who is going to die this time? Because family vacations are usually always crazy and insane. That is a nice Zeppelin.
Oh, gee.
She's cute.
I am really looking forward to a relaxing vacation.
Watch out. She won't admit it, but when your mother says relaxing vacation, she means doing something crazy. Last time she ended up bungee jumping over Luna Bay.
What was that, hon?
Oh, I was just telling Twilight about my new bingo strategy book. It's a real page-turner.
Oh, I can't wait to get on this Zeppelin and fly like a Pegasus.
Really? I remember you getting airsick on Admiral Fairweather's wild ride at Pony Island.
Oh, please. I grew out of air sickness a long time ago.
I hope you ponies feel welcomed aboard, because you are!
Well, that was an assertive welcome.
Sure. Nice. I love how that music right there is basically the intro. And I'm also glad that Cadence is going now because she's also part of the family.
Guess
So.
this is what it's like to be big-time prize winners. I just wish I could remember what contest we won.
Wait, you don't know where this prize came from?
When some pony offers you a free vacation, you just sign the paperwork and don't ask questions.
Especially when it means we all get to fly off together. What should we do first?
Well, I did categorize the ship's activities and make a schedule organized by each of our interests. Dad, you're easy. Bingo competition, right here.
Oh, I just love how the numbers and letters are organized in their little boxes. It's so satisfying.
Shining armor, they've got a tiny boat race in a tiny pool. Here.
Aw, sis. Only you would remember I love tiny things.
And Cadence, there's a Pee-wee Princess playtime here that Flurry's gonna love.
Oh, wonderful.
This barrel jumping at Niagara Falls sounds interesting.
I just want to see you all have a good time, and this works out
I
perfectly.
already
There's
love
room
this
for the
episode
one thing
because
I
we're
wanna
actually
do.
showing.
Our
It's
ship
actually a
passes
family
the
outing.
at sunset, which is the only time you can see the astrological phenomenon known as the northern stars. It's like the stars are shooting out of the setting sun.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Well, we definitely don't want to miss that.
Then it's settled. But we don't have anything to do right now. Any suggestions?
Attention cruise ponies! Don't let this Zeppelin be a bore! Leave your room and see the tour!
A tour could be fun.
Yeah, okay, sure. I'm flying!
I'm afraid Flurry may be airsick. Since I know that isn't a problem for you, would you mind taking her below?
Sorry,
Right.
Titanic
Just
reference.
make out the white
Okay,
tufts
both
clouds
of them are cute.
Where Princess Twilight Sparkle once toured the weather factory.
Oh boy.
How do you know that? And why announce it on a cruise?
Uh-oh. She's adorable.
Why don't we move to the other side of the deck?
Good idea.
We are now high enough to see all of Canterlot. Even the royal tree where Princess Twilight and her brother Shining Armor were born.
What? That's not right.
Let's get down for that.
You guys know that's not where we were born. What are you so excited about?
Well, it is a really nice tree, sweetheart.
We just wanted to say how excited we are to be here!
Yeah. Us too.
On our route north,
Cute.
we will pass the spires of the Crystal Empire, where Princess Cadence rescued her alicorn baby, Spike, from a monster made of fire.
Well, that doesn't even make sense.
Well, royal grandparents sounds a bit fancy, but of course you can take our picture.
Wing hands again.
Oh, wow. Can you believe it?
Oh boy.
Wow.
That moment whenever
Okay, that's it.
that moment
Does
whenever
anybody
you
know what
realize
a
you
cruise
got on a
announcer
ship
is?
to a convention.
Excuse me, sir.
You can call Iron Will.
Oh my gosh. Dude, we haven't seen you in
What are
forever.
you doing here? And why do you keep announcing random things about me and my family?
The assertiveness seminar market dried up, so Iron Will started a new career, organizing themed vacation packages.
Themed
The
vacation.
theme of this vacation is...
Every pony, stomp your hooves if you are here for the premiere Cruise of the Princess's Experience.
What? Oh my gosh. Well! So let me guess. You baited, you're the one that sent the, oh crap.
Iron Will. I'm not sure it was entirely honest of you to offer this cruise to my family without telling us that ponies bought tickets just to see Cadence and me.
Iron Will outlined all the details of the cruise in the prize acceptance and consent form that you signed.
When some pony offers you a free vacation, who reads the fine print?
Iron Will prides himself on providing a quality vacation experience. But if Twilight Sparkle and her family don't want it, Iron Will can cancel the cruise and break the hearts of every princess adoring pony on board.
As much as I want a family vacation, I don't think I could entertain all these cruise ponies. My hooves are pretty full taking care of Flurry Heart.
And
I guess
Shining.
we were just so excited by the idea of a family cruise.
All right, I guess we better turn this ship around.
Wait, Iron Will. What if I offered you a deal? If I agree to do whatever princess activities you want, will you promise that my family gets to do the activities they want?
Sis, you don't have to do that. We want you to enjoy yourself too.
I don't want the vacation to end now, or let down all of these ponies who are looking forward to seeing us. So what do you say, Iron Will? Do we have a deal?
Princess Twilight has a
Oh.
deal.
Ponies are confirmed
So it looks
marshmallows.
like we have some time before Dad plays bingo.
Actually, we have just enough to pick the winner of our grand prize raffle.
Oh, well, who doesn't like prizes?
All right, cruise ponies. When the Zeppelin flies, it's time for a prize.
Thank you all for being so gracious and respectful to me and my family. And now, without further ado, the winner is... Star Tracker! Congratulations, Star Tracker. Enjoy your prize. Okay, Dad, bingo time.
What the? How did you? What?
I'm sorry. I don't have the prize.
Congratulations to Star Tracker, who wins the grand prize. Spending the day with Twilight as an honorary member of her family.
What?
That's the prize? Okay, well, I guess you should come with us, honorary family member.
Sure. There's always room at the bingo table.
Ahem. Is every pony ready?
Oh boy, I bet some people ship this.
Give that cage a whirl.
Dad, what did you say?
He said to give it a whirl.
Oh,
Which is funny because they're on a Zeppelin. It's already a ship. Oh my gosh.
R19.
Oh my gosh.
Now we're talking.
How did you? Never
This
mind.
princess bingo is great.
Did you get that one, Dad? Can any pony tell me how my dad is doing?
Yeah, he said the princess bingo is great.
Princess Bingo! Princess Bingo! Princess Bingo!
Twilight is my favorite time of day. It's also your name. Just thought that was cool.
Oh boy.
Phew!
Oh, poor
Just made it.
Shining.
And I'm ready to give you the tiny boat race of your life.
Tiny boat race.
Are you sure you're not airsick, big brother?
No way! How can I be airsick? I'm in the water, so it totally cancels out.
Dude, you're almost turning into
I don't
Yoshi.
think that's how it works. But I'm ready if you are.
Technically, Princess Twilight Sparkle should officiate the Princess Paddle Boat Race.
Well, I suppose I could race your brother.
Oh, well, as long as Shining Armor gets to race, I'm happy.
Teleportation. Twilight.
So, sorry.
I'm gonna write about this race tonight in my journal. Oh, it's just so exciting.
On your mark, get set, go!
Oh my word, that was exciting! Wasn't it, son?
Just so every pony knows, I'm getting out of this boat because of how not sick I feel.
Oh, that's all right, dear. We'll take you back to the room.
With a bathroom.
That was just the first heat of 10. Now, who's ready to see a princess face when they win their race?
What is it with buff guys doing that anyway? What's the point?
Cadence, I'm so glad you got in the Pee Wee
How did you-
Princess time.
Flurry is having a wonderful time.
That's great. I'm just on my way to take some old-time Appalachian photos.
FiM photo shoots are the best.
And then do a quick question and answer session on becoming an alicorn before Mom's barrel ride at Niagara Falls. I really hope I don't miss that.
Twilight, are you sure you don't mind doing all of these princess activities?
Mind? What? Absolutely not. I mean, you guys are having fun, right?
She's cracking.
Besides, I have to make sure these cruise ponies are happy if I want to be a good princess.
You're already a good princess, Twilight.
Honestly, as long as I get to see the northern stars tonight with every pony, I'll be happy. But right now, I gotta go take
Here's
some
an idea.
pictures. See you later!
Twilight, that's cute. Put him on the boat
Why
ride and
don't
then
you
push
play
him off.
and make a princess friend?
Oh my gosh.
I am so sorry, every pony, but it looks like Flurry needs her nap.
Oh my! Don't tick off a mother.
Why did that last question have to be a two-parter? I just hope I have time for one barrel ride with Mom.
Oh, Niagara Falls was amazing! The endless open air, the water in my mane, oh, the small confines of the barrel!
Another relaxing vacation in the books, hon.
Cute.
Oh, honey, I know you're disappointed, but we waited as long as we could. Maybe you should take a break from these princess things.
Disappointed? No! I've just been answering some detailed questions about alicorns. You know how much I love details!
I just don't want you to forget. It's your vacation, too.
How can I when it's a totally successful vacation?
All right. Well, we can't wait to see those northern stars.
Iron Will lived up to his side of the bargain, and Princess Twilight only has one more thing to do for the day.
Sorry, for a moment there I thought he was actually going to turn her and push her nose to nose with the other guy and say, now kiss him. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Cute.
Oh. How long have you been waiting?
Oh, people are going to ship it, aren't they?
Oh no. What time is it?
Oh my gosh.
I missed them? I missed the northern stars?
You were right, Twilight. They were breathtaking.
Oh, we wish you'd been here to see it, Sweet Pea, but we're sure you're making a whole bunch of cruise ponies happy.
I'm so happy I could cry.
Oh, yeah. The cruise ponies are happy. My family is happy. Even Iron Will is happy. You know who isn't happy? Me!
Oh gosh!
My hoof! I'm sorry, but maybe that wouldn't have happened if you weren't practically standing on my tail. Not even my real family stands so close. Ugh.
Twilight?
I only made that deal with Iron Will so my family and the cruise ponies could have the vacation they wanted.
What about what you wanted?
I just want every pony to be happy.
Well, sometimes ponies want more from a princess than you can give.
Or people in
and it can
general.
be hard to know where to draw the line.
You seem to know pretty well.
Once I had Flurry Heart, the line was easier for me to see. You will always have obligations as a princess, but you also have an obligation to yourself.
You're right. I think I need to set some boundaries. But first, I owe some pony an apology.
Oh, how's that, dearie?
Better, thanks. But I think I should go.
No, Star Tracker. You should stay. I have something to tell you. All of you. I'm glad you all got to do the things you wanted. But I should have stood up for myself so that I could do what I wanted too. It wasn't fair of me to lash out at you. If I felt like you were standing too close, I should have said something. I'm sorry. What do you say we do something off the schedule?
Who are you?
Yep, we're gonna do something I want us to do, as a family. Honorary members, too.
And that ship has already sailed. Ice cream! Oh dear, sorry. That's actually cute.
You and your family have been really kind to include me, but you deserve your own vacation together. And I'm really glad we met too.
Oh.
Attention, cruise ponies! If it's your dream, come to the deck for ice cream!
Oh no! Leave the princess alone!
What did you say to Iron Will?
It's okay, every pony. Ahem. First, I want to thank all of you for coming. It means a lot that you'd spend your hard-earned bits just to be with us. But I honestly came on this cruise to take some time off from being a princess. I'm just a pony too, after all. And even though I want every pony here to be happy, I'd really like to spend the rest of the cruise relaxing with my family.
Of course, Princess Twilight.
But why was this trip advertised as a cruise of the princesses if you just wanted to get away?
Iron Will's Cruise of the Princesses makes no guarantees as to the participation of actual princesses.
What?
But
No wonder the other seminar dried up.
satisfaction not guaranteed. No refund!
Wow. He may be pushy and manipulative, but no pony can say that Minotaur isn't prepared.
There's still plenty of activities. We passed Philadelphia on the way back. I could give Flurry Heart a quick history tour.
That's very thoughtful. But right now, the family and I have something scheduled for you.
Behold, the Northern Stars!
You did all this for me? This is amazing! Thank you. And Shining Armor, I can't believe you're up there even though you're airsick.
I am not air. Oh, okay. Maybe I'm not feeling great.
Now this is the only activity I need.
Aww. Oh, this was such a sweet episode. This was such a cute episode. Alright, this is honestly one of my favorite episodes of this season. And also, I would have to say it's definitely on my list of favorite episodes in general. This was such a cute, sweet episode. I absolutely adore it. It really is adorable, and I really love it. There was a lot of things here in this episode. It was interesting that we got to see Twilight. In the beginning, she was dealing with the whole princess duties and having to tend to that. And then her mother informs her that they have possibly won a vacation somehow, and we're invited to go. And so Twilight wants to go on a vacation with her family. I mean, she's never, honestly, in the show, she's never had one. She's never had a vacation with her family. Fan fiction might have dealt that out, but so we've certainly never seen it in the show itself. And so she just wanted to get away and have a nice family vacation with her family, just take a break from just the everyday duties that she was having to do. I mean, who can't say that sounds like a good idea? And so Twilight wanted to just spend some time with her family, and this was and there was a lot of things going on here. This was a really cute episode because we got to see Twilight get to take a break somewhat from the princess duties, and we got to see a bit more development with her, and we got to see more of how she handles her responsibilities as a princess. And she kind of puts too much of a burden off on herself. She really cares about other people's well-being, about other people's happiness, the pony's happiness, and she wants everyone to be happy. She wants everyone to be able to have a good time and just enjoy themselves. And she was willing to make a sacrifice for herself so that others could be happy and just enjoy themselves, which was really sweet, really noble, and really admirable of her. And honestly, I mean, like, I can honestly see myself doing something like that. Um, and I could easily relate to that because, like, whenever like, you will put yourself, like, you will put others before yourself. You will put yourself into a bind if it means others being able to be happy. Yes, Twilight wanted, and so yeah, I can easily relate to Twilight here. I mean, she was putting others before herself, and because she wanted others to be happy, she wanted the rest of her family to be able to enjoy themselves, and she wanted them to be happy, have fun, and she was willing to sacrifice her own time to make sure that they enjoy themselves. And it was also, and the thing about this story here, the moral, was basically you need to set some boundaries for yourself. And Twilight was becoming stressed because she got hooked into a cruise that was about her and Cadence, about the princesses. They got hooked into it unbeknownst to themselves. They got hooked into it unbeknownst to them and had to tag along. And Twilight wanted to make sure that her family, that everyone had a really good time. And so she tried to take care of the duties that she was required to do in order to make sure that the rest of everyone had a good time. And she was limiting herself, and she wasn't able to have a good time herself. And she missed out on all of the activities with her family that she wanted to partake in. And she realized that she needed to set some boundaries and pretty much stand up for herself and not let herself be backed into a corner. She needed to set some boundaries and stand up for herself, and in order, and just us, and that while it's great that she was focusing on trying to make sure others had a good time, that she also needs to focus on herself sometimes as well. And honestly, I could see a lot of relatability in terms. I could see relatability and a resemblance between what Twilight was going through, what Cadence said, and reality. Because there are times, it's kind of interesting that the characters here, Twilight was taking on a task that was almost beyond her I mean, she was able, it was just almost beyond her capabilities. And she was stressing herself out and missing the events that she wanted to partake in with her family. And I can see relatability with reality because I can see that with, like, kind of like with YouTubers and even with people sort of within the brony community. That people kind of, you want to try to make a lot of people happy. You want to try to make people happy. But you can't make everyone happy. And if you're not having fun with it, then it'll show, and nobody else will really enjoy it because you're not enjoying it. And Cadence was able to tell Twilight that Twilight needed to set some boundaries for herself and allow herself the chance to enjoy some time as well to herself and be able to have fun and not really worry about trying to make others happy all the time. And this is a very good moral, actually, that applies to life itself as well, because you can't satisfy everybody. You can't make everybody happy. And if you try to make one person happy, then you'll tick off somebody else. And it can become stressful if you try to focus on other people, on trying to make them happy. And if you do it too much, you begin to lose sight of yourself. You begin to lose sight of making yourself happy. And for me, this was a really good, solid story. and it was a really good, solid story. And I really loved it how they did this episode because it was very true and it was very much relatable. Twilight was burdening herself with trying to make sure everybody was happy and having a really good time, but because she was so focused on that, she was unable to participate in the events herself, and she was missing out. And little by little, it was tearing at her core, and her being, she was slowly cracking little by little, and she felt more and more boxed in, more and more restricted by what was going on, and she wasn't able to enjoy the vacation with her family that she thought she would be able to. And she was missing out, and she knew she was missing out. And even though her family was, and she was also seeing that her family wasn't able to fully enjoy themselves. I mean, their family wasn't able to fully enjoy themselves because she wasn't able to participate in it with her, and she felt like she was missing out completely, and she was, and it was beginning to stress her out to the point that she ended up snapping, which is completely normal. I mean, anybody in that situation would have snapped. I might would have snapped even before Twilight did. But Twilight was burdening herself with that, and she was able to realize that, Cadence was able to tell her that you have to set some boundaries for yourself, and that you can't. What Cadence said about sometimes ponies demand too much from a princess. This is very much true for real life. And you can say this about YouTubers. You can say this about even people within the Brony community. You can say this about like artists, musicians. Sometimes people demand too much. They expect too much, and you can't always deliver. And you need to. And it can be hard because you want to make people happy. You want just to be able to make them smile. You want to make their day, but whenever it's stressing you out and it's becoming really difficult, you can feel it affecting. You can feel it affecting your psyche, your mentality, your emotions. That's whenever you know that you need to take a step back and set some boundaries for yourself. Otherwise, again, if you're not able to fully enjoy it and not able to have fun with it, then what's the point in doing it as well? Because even if some people might enjoy it, you're not enjoying it. And other people will see it as well. And so you're just forcing yourself to do something just because others want you to do it. And that's not something that you should do. You should be able to enjoy it and have fun with it. And if someone else sees you having fun, then generally they'll have fun with it as well. Because you don't want, basically, I mean, that's exactly me. If I don't want to do something, I don't do it. And if I can't have fun with something, I don't do it. And I mean, I can try something, but if I don't have fun with it, I don't do it. And this was something that, again, I see people I see that with like people on YouTube and in the Brony community and even outside of those two areas, people expecting too much of a specific individual or specific individuals, and they can't always meet those needs or those desires. They can't always meet those, and it can become stressful. And so you have to take a step back and set some boundaries and say, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to do it. And you can't always make everybody happy. That's something that a lesson. And to be honest, I know that some people would probably say, okay, why didn't Twilight know this lesson? Why didn't Twilight know this? That you can't make everybody happy and that you also have to focus on yourself sometimes. Well, there are times whenever someone wants to be able to believe that they can do it all, and you try to make yourself take on more than what you think you can. because you think you can do it and you want to try to do it and make others happy, but it becomes more of a burden. It becomes more of a hindrance than anything. And Cadence already knew this because of the experiences that she had had, and this was something that Twilight just learned. And so Cadence was able to pass that lesson on to Twilight. And what she said about, yeah, Twilight may have some obligations as princess, but she also has an obligation to herself, which is taking care of herself and making sure that she too is happy. And that's extremely true because there are times whenever you can try to spend a lot of time trying to make others happy, but you end up stressing yourself out because you're not happy. And it will affect you mentally, emotionally, and may also begin to affect you physically as well. And so, yeah, this was very much relatable. And like I said, I can see a resemblance with this story in reality. I can see it on YouTube with how some people. I can see it in the Brony community. I can see it in YouTube, and I can see it in other areas outside of that as well. I can see, like with YouTube, I can see people that do. I can see YouTubers and fans expecting too much of them. That these YouTubers, they want to try to make their fans happy, but it can be challenging at times because different people want different things, and so they're running around rampant trying to please everybody, and they can't always do that. They can't do that, and so they have to take a step back and say, this is how I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do. And the same also applies with the Brony community as well, because there are times whenever, you got people out there that expect so much of you, that expect you to be a specific way, expect you to do a certain thing. And whenever you break away from that because of something that you want to do, you got people that are like, well, this is not something that I like. Why are you doing it this way? And you have to set boundaries and say, that this is me, this is who I am. And so it can be hard and it can be challenging at times, but it is something that we all have to do at some point. We have to set boundaries for ourselves and say, hey, this is my thing, this is what I'm going to do. And, I want to do something that makes me happy. And it's not about being selfish because, Twilight wanted to try to make sure everybody was happy. And she did everything that she could within her power to make sure of that. But it was stressing her out, and she was missing time with her family because of it. And I can honestly, and again, it's understandable. It's very much relatable, and it's not selfish that you need to take some time, that you need to set boundaries for yourself as well, because even if you try to make others happy, you do need to try to do things that make yourself happy as well. And I've seen other people in that situation before like that, where they were so stressed with trying to make others happy that it was affecting them. It was really affecting them. And so, yeah, this is very much true. This is very much relatable. And I really love this episode. It's a really solid episode. I love the flow and the dynamics here with the characters and just how everything panned out. And I love the relatability and the natural and realistic sense and tone that they went with this story. And again, it is something that needs to be told, and it is something that people, even today, that people they try to take on tasks like that with others that make it very complicated for them, and they're not as much, or they don't focus as much on themselves as they should. And again, typically whenever, like for me, if I see somebody having fun, then I can have fun with them because I know they are having fun. I don't want someone to put on a mask and try to fake being entertained or trying to fake having fun. Because I'll see it and I can enjoy it. But if I see somebody naturally having fun, then I can have fun. I can have fun with them. And so, if you can have fun, then others can have fun with you. It's pretty much like the whole thing about a smile being contagious. If you give a smile, there's a good chance somebody will smile back. It's contagious. And having fun is contagious. If someone is having fun and laughing, then there's a good chance you will too. And so that's very much natural for this. And if you're just not having fun with it, others will see it and they'll be like, I mean, for me myself, that would be me. If I saw somebody not having fun, being bored, my first question is, why are you doing it? If you're not having fun with it, why doing it? I mean, why do it at all if you're not having fun with it? Um, and so I really love this episode. It's got a really solid story, and it was slow paced with the story, but it was really detailed. It had great flow, and it had a story that needed to be told. And even today, I mean, even has a moral and a lesson that even today, it's easy to understand and it's easy to relate to. And because I've honestly, I can relate to Twilight. Been in those situations before where trying, I mean, like for me personally, the situations where I've tried, where I tucked my tail between my legs and never spoke up whenever I should have because I didn't want to hurt anyone, and I should have spoke up, but I didn't because I was too much trying to keep the peace and not say what really needed to be said because I was concerned with hurting someone, with hurting someone's feelings. And so, but ultimately I let myself be run over, and I should have spoke up. Spoke I should have spoke my mind, but I didn't. And as a result, I got run over. I got treated like a doormat, and that's so I can relate to Twilight here. And it's something I'm still working on myself with. I mean, it's something where I mean, yeah, it can be hard to know when you need to speak up, when you need to say, when you need to stand your ground, when you need to show those boundaries. It can be difficult to know that, but it's something that I'm still learning myself, and so I can easily relate to Twilight here on this. I can easily see I mean, I can easily relate to her here. Again, I really love this episode because again, it's relatable and I can understand it. And Twilight was just in this. I can say she was justified in this. And I really love this episode. It had nice solid flow, really solid story, and like I said, this is definitely one of my favorite episodes of this season and of this series. I can easily relate to Twilight here, and I know other people can too. And we've been in that situation before where we were stressing ourselves out because we were more concerned about trying to help others, trying to make others happy. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, that is in no way a bad thing. I would rather be able to help other people and focus on making them happy as well, than just being selfish and focusing only on myself. But there are times, of course, whenever you have to set those boundaries and you have to focus on yourself. Otherwise, you begin to lose sight of who you are. You begin to lose your sense of self. And if you're losing yourself, if you're stressing yourself out, and you can't take time to recharge your batteries, then you're not going to be able to perform. You're not going to be able to focus, and you're not going to be able to function like you normally would. And so, yeah, it is very much understandable. But going over some of the things here, it's interesting that we go back to an episode where Twilight is focusing on her princess duties. She has duties as a princess. She has to tend to that. And then Twilight finds out that she is invited to participate in a cruise with her family. And she's able to, and this is the first time we've ever seen something like this. But she's afraid that she can't leave her duties behind. So Spike here is like, you know what, girl, you got to get out more. Spike's basically just like, girl, you got to get out more. You got to get out more. And so he just pushes her towards the door, and it's like, I'll take care of everything. Just get out there, have fun. Just shirk your troubles. And it's really cute here that Spike knew that Twilight was going to come back and say something about her duties and whatnot. Like, he knows her, and he expected it. Now, I really like here how that Spike actually was able to handle things appropriately, because there have been times in other episodes, and I know others can admit that before, whenever Spike tried to take on a responsibility, and ultimately it blew up in his face. I'm really glad that here Spike was able to handle the situation calmly and maturely, and it was able to work out good, and I'm very happy for that. And this was also the first time that we actually got to see I mean, we've seen just a couple of things with Twilight and her parents before. One of the episodes was whenever they fixed the crystal heart, I believe it was. No, after the other episode where they had to uh, help, where they had to keep that storm at bay, I think it was, in the Crystal Empire. And we actually got to hear Twilight's mom actually speak in that episode, and I think her dad. This is the first time since then that we actually got to see some really good development with Twilight's mom and her dad, and actually got to see them hanging out as a family, not just being background characters. And it was interesting. I mean, we got to see a lot with the characters. We got to see a lot more about this. And whenever Twilight's dad makes a mention about Luna Bay, that is legit. That is legit. Because whenever I bring up the mobile phone game on my phone, and you go to the map, it says Luna Bay. That's legit. So that's really cool. And we also got to see some really interesting, like, it's funny that Twilight's mom, Twilight Velvet, she is an adventure seeker. She loves thrill. She loves adventure, and that's cute. I love that. I love that about her. That's cute, and it's really cool. And like her dad is more kind of calm and laid back, while her mother is just out for adventure. And so yeah, I mean, it's a very interesting dynamic. And so yeah, it kind of makes, I don't know, I kind of can't help it but think, okay, so like, did he know this whenever he was dating her and married her? And like, how exactly was Twilight created? Is she so adventurous? How did that work out? But again, I really love just how this dynamic with these two are. It's cute, it's sweet, and I love it that they're actually a loving, gentle couple, and they're not like bickering or arguing with each other. And I'm also happy to see. Cadence hanging out as well. Like Cadence was tagging along as well because she's part of the family. I was afraid that they were actually gonna just have Shining there, but no, they actually had Cadence as well, and I'm very happy for that. And again, the little bantering and little jokes between Twilight and Shining here was just adorable. It was cute and it was natural in that sense. And I mean, yeah, I know there are times whenever brothers or sisters or a brother and sister are a lot more resentful to each other. But I'm really happy that Twilight and Shining have the relationship that they do with each other. It's cute, it's sweet, it's heartwarming, and they're not like constantly bickering with each other or trying to like murder each other. I mean, they have a calm, down to earth, very sweet relationship, and it's very cute. And like I said, it feels more like what relationships between brothers and sisters should be, and I love that. And I also think it's cute how Cadence is tagging along, and she's just kind of, I mean, she's used to her husband's. It's really funny. Like whenever I look at Shining and Cadence, I see kind of a resemblance between Mickey and Minnie here, if I may make that comparison. Like Cadence is like Minnie. She's the more mature one in the relationship. She's more understanding, more calm about situations. And Mickey, Shining is more like Mickey in a sense. Like, just the more ridiculous, more zany decisions that he makes. And so Shining, Cadence, like Minnie, just kind of sits back and is like, well, I'll just let my husband, I'll just let him learn his lesson, and then, uh, everything will be fine. Um, but again, I really love this, and then those little dynamics. Whenever Twilight makes a mention about Shining having air sickness or seasickness, and it was something that Cadence I either knew or didn't know either way, but still she found it funny that she giggled. And again, I really love that. And there was a lot of characters that we got to see in this that was really cute. Really new characters here. I love the designs, the different dynamics and designs with these characters. It really adds a nice touch to it. I really love how that they went with that. And I love just the appearance of this cabin that they're in. And I love the rustic charm to this particular cabin. And you got a nice, I mean, you got the wooden doors, the hardwood floors, and you've got this simple little rustic charm about it. A chandelier just there with like a diamond uh, shaped beads hanging down. You got this old rustic piano for decoration. This beautiful rug here with the frills on the end. And again, I love just the soft texture and just the atmosphere for this. It's not flashy, it's not shouting out, "Hey, look at me." It's rustic, it's simple, and I love the architecture. I love the simplicity of the design for this place. And again, one of the things I really love about this episode especially is how that we actually get to see a nice family thing between Twilight, her mom, her dad, and her brother. I really love, and her sister-in-law. I really adore this episode because of that. It's so freaking cute to finally see something like that with the characters going on a little family vacation, a little family outing together. It's so cute, and I love seeing that dynamic. And I'm also really happy that they didn't go with something where Twilight and her family ended up bickering and arguing. I'm really happy that they were just a loving, gentle family that had each other's backs, that was there for each other, was showing each other support, and wanted to spend time with each other. And too many times today you see like about families who just don't really spend time at all together, and they're just bitter towards each other, and they're just trying to get away from each other. And it's really cute to see something like this. It's really heartwarming, and I really adore the dynamics here that they played out with these characters. And again, Twilight's mom and her dad, again, just really cute. I love the interactions with them and just the loving relationship that they have here. It's very, very adorable. And this moment right here with Shining on the deck, honestly, I thought of Titanic, and I was kind of waiting for like Cadence to walk up behind him and extend her hooves out and put her hooves underneath his. I'm sure someone probably did a piece of fan art with that, but that's what I was kind of waiting on. But I also really like how Cadence is being Cadence has three roles here. She's being a wife, she's being a mother, and she's being a sister. She's being a husband. I mean, and she's trying to take. I mean, the way I look at it, she's kind of got two kids that she's taking care of, which is Shining and Flurry. But she's trying to take care of her husband, and I love the dynamics between them. It's natural, it's cute. And then Cadence is also being she's being a sister to Cadence, and a daughter-in-law to Twilight's family. And she's also being a mother. She's taking care of her baby, and it's really, really cute. And she's also just trying to spend time to herself as well, which is really cute. And again, some of these characters here are just adorable. This particular mare down here on the bottom, that's just smiling right here, she's cute. Really, really cute. And I love the hairstyle of the mare up on the top, the cream color one with the brown like hair. Again, I love that. That's really cool. And the way I look at it, this episode is kind of like as if Twilight and Cadence ended up somehow attending BronyCon or Everfree Northwest or BabsCon or something, and just you got the characters dressed up, and they're just like, okay, so this is a thing. Oh dear, I got on the wrong bus. I got on the wrong ship. Like, this was interesting because this is the first time we actually got to see Iron Will return. I mean, the last time I remember seeing Iron Will was, oh gosh, what episode was that? What was the last episode? The last episode I believe that Iron Will made his appearance was, that I recall, was whenever he was trying to help Fluttershy to be more assertive. That's the last episode I remember him, and he made that about the assertiveness seminar, and he said it had dried up. Yeah. There's a possibility, dude, that it was your attitude that caused people to stop coming. And so I mean, honestly, you know, you could kind of paint Iron Will as a villain here. Like, he suckered other ponies into attending a cruise that he baited the princesses, Twilight and Cadence, into going on, so that they could meet them because of money. And he baited them into doing it, and so yeah, it was a money-making scheme, a money-making gimmick that kind of worked in a way, but it backfired in his face at the end. And so yeah, I can see a resemblance between Iron Will and people like that in real life. But you know what? It's still comical, but again, you still want to deck the guy. The moment whenever this one character, honestly, no freaking joke, I thought this at first with the color tone. I thought that this with the color tone here, I honestly thought this was a human being at first. I did, but it's a pony. But yeah, and again, like I said, ponies confirm marshmallows. There's been plenty of jokes about that before, but yeah. Now this right here, again, I love some of these characters' designs like this, like this filly down here on the bottom with the bluish colored hair and the rose colored eyes. And again, this other character here on the upper right, second from the upper right, this mare right here, cream color with the blackish, grayish colored hair. Really beautiful design. I love that. And then here, whenever this one guy wins the trip, wins the chance to hang out with Twilight and her family, I knew as soon as this happened here, this was going to be a ship. On a ship. This was shipped in more ways than one. And, oh, I know there's fan art of this. I know there's completely fan art of this. And it's kind of funny, like, I gotta say it, like, you got, like, if I may compare it to that, you got Twilight, who is kind of like the, like, you got Twilight, who is just, she's like a nerd, like a bookworm. But then you have this other guy who kind of acts a bit like a geeky kind of nerd as well. It's cute, like, like, you could kind of think, okay, it could work between them. But again, like, Twilight didn't like, this guy was really nervous around her, and honestly, you could say, okay, he was just nervous about hanging around her because he idolized her. Or you could also say, well, you know, he kind of had a romantic interest in her. And given the nature of some of the things that happened, yeah, that's kind of what it kind of led up to being. Just him kind of stalking her and hanging around her, like whispering in her ear. And it caught Twilight off guard a lot of times. But again, I know this has fan art of it. Don't think I'm going to be looking it up, but again, another thing that I really adored with this particular episode is the little subtle moments where, like, Twilight is just the adorable family dynamic here, where Twilight is using this little loudspeaker, and she's like, "Dad," and she's just asking everybody to make sure that her dad got it. Again, it's really cute. I love the mother and father and daughter dynamic here. It's really adorable. It's really cute. I loved how that Twilight's mom was just already enthusiastic about joining her son in the little boat race. She actually won, and my gosh, she was freaking fast. I mean, my gosh, she was freaking fast in that boat. She did it just without a second's hesitation, and she won. And it was a subtle thing here, again, but I loved how that they did it. How Shining didn't crawl out of the water himself. How his mother helped him to like lift him out and was helping him to his room. And Twilight was concerned. She was trying to run to help her brother to make sure that he was okay. Because like that's something that I really admire that they did, because so many times I've seen in cartoons and other things where a character would experience something and the other character that was supposed to be friend or family, whatever, would just be standing there like, oh, okay, they're fine, you know, they're totally fine. And just not follow up to check on them, and I don't agree with it. I don't like that. So I'm really happy. Like it really makes me happy that here, like Twilight Velvet was actually helping her son out. She used her magic to help her son out, and she was walking away with him to help him to his room. And how Twilight was actually concerned. She was running to make sure that her brother was okay, but she got stopped by Iron Will. And so I'm really happy that they did that. And again, like I said, what the point? What is the freaking point? With bulky guys that want to flex their muscles and just in tune to music. What's the point? What is the point? I mean, I surmise it's the whole if you got it, flaunt it kind of deal, but my gosh, what's the point? What is the freaking point? It just being a show off, and I don't like show offs. And another little moment here. This moment, whenever every single one of these parents was pushing their child to Flurry, it's like, hey, make friends with this baby. This baby is famous. You'll be famous too. Yeah, that's kind of the gimmick that it appeared to me here. And like I love the design for some of these characters here, but I really love Cadence's expression here. It's a mixture. There's like a lot going on in this woman's mind. One, what the freak? Two, I am going to murder someone because they are trying to take advantage of my baby. You do not tick off a protective mother. You are ultimately you are buying a one-way ticket to Tartarus. Your best friend will be Hades if you continue. And 3, she's just trying to process the whole thing. Like, what the freak is going on? And so, yeah, very, very comical, and I love that aspect there. And again, Twilight's mother just being the adventurous type. I love that aspect about her. I really love that aspect about her, and honestly, I'm looking forward to seeing fan art of her and just the crazy things that she would do. But like I said, this one moment, whenever Iron Will told her that there was only one other thing that she had to do, and he picked her up, and it was here, like he picked her up and turned her around, and my first thought was, oh crap, he is going to set her in front of this other guy, and he's going to say, now kiss. That's honestly what I thought was going to happen. I'm glad that they didn't go that route, but again, that's what I was expecting to happen. And another thing that I really want to point out is the actual visuals here. As it transitions in the time passing, I love the visual aesthetics here. The soft glow of the clouds and just the overall glow of the sun here as the scene transitions and as night begins to fade. And as time passes, you'll see, and it's a little subtle thing, but you'll notice it. As the sun begins to descend, you'll see the shadows being cast across the deck, and you'll see it gets darker as the shadows are being cast further and further across the deck. And again, it's a realistic thing, but again, they redone. Excuse me, sorry. It's very realistic, and pardon me, it's very realistic. But again, it's a subtle thing, but really well done. Then that moment, whenever Twilight realizes that she this, missed the North Star, and that's whenever it began to tear at her. That's whenever, I mean, she missed the one thing that she really wanted to participate in with her family. And my gosh, this right here, this moment was extremely heartbreaking. The one moment that she was really counting on, and this moment here just, I mean, this was heart shattering. She realized that she missed it, and that's whenever she kind of snapped and began to just explain the situation. And she was upset at Iron Will. She was, I think, upset at herself because she hadn't had the chance to really have any fun with her family. And she accidentally steps on this one dude's hoof whenever she tries to storm off. And then Twilight tells him that, he was standing too close. And he was practically standing on her tail. And that not even her family stands that close to her. And it was interesting because, like, Cadence was the one person here, like, she saw what Twilight was going through. And it's interesting. Like, the rest of the family here, they saw Cadence, they saw Twilight be hurt. But Cadence knew what was going on. She knew what was going through Twilight's mind. And I would imagine that off screen, everyone wanted to go check on her, make sure she was okay, but Cadence probably said, that Cadence probably had this idea for them to put together this thing for Twilight since she missed the show. Or she said, you know what, I'll talk to her, don't worry, I'll talk to her, just go back to the cabin, I'll bring her. And and this scene here, where Twilight is on this deck, I really love this scene. There's several things going on here. First off, you can actually see Twilight's hair just blowing in the wind. Her tail isn't blowing because the wind isn't on the deck down that far to actually blow her tail, but because her head is lifted up, her hair is actually blowing. And you can see the movement of the stars as the ship makes its movement. And again, her hair is blowing, and I love the dramatic, emotional feel of this scene. It's extremely well done. This cute sisterly moment between Cadence and Twilight was also really adorable. Like, Cadence is the older big sister, Twilight is the younger little sister, and so Twilight, it was a lesson that she had to learn herself, and Cadence knew it. She understood. And for a moment there, whenever Cadence said, "You'll understand," I thought she was going to say, "You'll understand whenever you have a filly, or whenever you have a foal, so, better start having one." I could just imagine Twilight pushed, like, nope, not right now, nope. Twilight apologized for her actions, and for how that she acted, and how that she felt. And she wanted to make amends, but she wanted to do something off the record that was just fun. So she broke away from her traditional sense of, let's do something off the books. Let's do something without planning. And it was cute. Like, this little moment, Twilight and the ice cream. Cute! Like, just like Twilight with 2 ice creams. Cute. And so they were just having fun. And just enjoying it. And they were just all having fun together. They were finally able to have fun and enjoy themselves as a family. And this is cute. Like, this is picturesque. You have the mother and the father. You've got their son and daughter. You've got their son and his wife, their daughter-in-law, their granddaughter, Flurry Heart, and Twilight, the aunt of Flurry Heart. I mean, this is just a beautiful family photo here. It's really cute. It's heartwarming. I'm gushing. I can feel rainbows flowing through my veins as I look at this. Again, I said the ship will sail. I'm sure it already has sailed. And I'm not saying I'm not saying at all that I don't agree with the ship. It is cute. I have to say this is a cute ship with Twilight and this guy. This is a cute ship. But I know that they're not. I know that they're not going to do anything more with this. But I know there's going to be fan art, and I know I first said that I wouldn't be looking it up. I know I'm going to look at some of it anyway, but like I won't directly look it up. But I know I'm going to see some of it anyway, and I'll be totally open to it. But I also like how this guy tried to stand up to Iron Will, but he was afraid Iron Will would turn him into a basketball. He was afraid that Iron Will would turn him into a dang basketball. And I loved, honestly, whenever Twilight grabbed the mic, and like, I don't know why, but knowing Tara Strong, I could kind of see something of her doing, like at a convention or something, her just grabbing the mic and say, "Listen up, Everpony." I could just kind of see that, like her doing something like that, and I'm really happy that Twilight here got to stand up for herself, and she got to say, you know, I'm really happy to basically try to make everybody else happy, but I want to spend time with my family. I just want to take a break and want to spend time with my family. And it was funny how everybody, like, whenever they found out, oh, Iron Will kind of screwed everybody over. And then the guy just jumps off the ship. And everybody's like, oh, he just jumped off the ship. Let me try to go back to that. Like, everybody just looks so, everybody just looks overboard, like, wondering what happened to the guy. And, like, it's kind of funny. Like, most everybody here has concerned faces. Shining, however, is kind of like, oh, well, he's gone. Okay. Shining is pretty much just like, oh, okay, he did whatever. I don't care. And Twilight feels a bit of remorse. Like, I think like everybody else is just shock. Twilight is more of the, oh my gosh, he really did it. Like, what was going on through his head to make him jump off the ship to his possible death? Like, Twilight has like more of a sympathetic expression. Shining is just like, well, I've seen worse than that. And then Iron Will just pulls out, what the freak? I just now noticed that Iron Will is the new Scrooge McDuck. Iron Will just pulls out this parachute, and suddenly he's in a ton of cash. I did not know what that was whenever I first saw it. It's cash. Dude's trying to be Scrooge McDuck. That's what he's trying to be. And this is, I mean, if this isn't a sign that he's trying to take advantage of every pony so that he can get their bits, here you go. This is all you need. This is a hit right here. He's all about the bits. It's very funny here at this point, like whenever Shining makes that mention about Shining Will is manipulative, and so yeah, he's very right on that. It's kind of funny here. Again, looking at the expressions, everybody else is just kind of stunned, like, okay, so he's not dead. Except for Cadence. Cadence here, her expression went from shock to, I wish the jerk was dead. Cadence's expression was like, of course he lived. Why did he have to have a parachute? Why couldn't the parachute have failed? Why couldn't the jerk that he was, why did he have to pull through in the end? I'm kind of like, it would have been comical for after the credits rolled, if you had seen a scene where Cadence just aimed her horn down and you saw a magic blast just like burn a hole in the parachute, and then Cadence just looks up there, everyone with a smile and says, there. I mean, like, I love Cadence's expression here. It's like one of, really, the jerk actually planned and he lived. Really? I love that. And then, we see some of the other characters change. Like, Twilight just has this expression like, yep, that happened. Of course it did. And Cadence is again like she's listening to her husband, but she's probably inwardly thinking about how she's going to track Iron Will down. And I love how just calm and mellow that Shining is. And then we see this other girl here over on the right. She too is angry with Iron Will, realizing. And I love that. And again, very cute. And I love this little moment whenever everyone got together to make this little show for Twilight, to just like they wanted to participate and make it up to her because she couldn't see the show, and so they all worked together as a family to make this little show. They all planned and worked together for this, and it shocked Twilight, just like the amount of shock in her face. And then she teared up because she realized, they care that much. They care that much that they didn't want me to miss out, that they wanted me to be a part of it. And it was very cute. It was really adorable. It was really sweet. And again, we got the comedy with poor Shining being airsick. But again, this was such, again, look at this. Just this loving, gentle family here. This is a great photo. This is a great photo here. And again, I really love this episode. I absolutely adore this episode. Very, very cute. And very, very cute. Very, very sweet. And we get a nice evening, nighttime shot of, again, the star going over top of the Zeppelin, as we see a beautiful sunset view of Canterlot here in the background, or a sunrise view. Very, very beautiful. I love that. And so again, I really adore this episode. This is a really cute episode. It's fun, it's sweet, it's heartwarming, and it's very much relatable. It's very much relatable. And again, I really see a lot of relatability with this episode in real life. But again, very, very cute. And definitely one of my most favorite episodes. So again, to everybody that worked on this episode, writers, animators, and everything. Writers, animators, voice actors, again, thank you all so much for all the work that you put into this episode. This is a really great episode. I absolutely adore it. Thank you all so much for this episode. This was a beautiful episode. And so again, thank you to everybody. And also thank you to everybody that joined me in this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. And again, please, anything you want to say in the comments, please feel free to do so. But again, thank you guys again for joining me. And hopefully I will see you guys in the next video that I do. Take care.